Joining us now in Studio B, BYU basketball associate head coach and rock star still in training, Tim LaComb. Tim, you gave us one of the nominees for BYU Athletics Instagram post of the year yesterday with a throwback to you rocking out, I think, in your garage. Is this where that was happening?
Yeah, that is classic right there. That is the Party Hounds.
That's the name of your band?
Yeah, circa 1987. Those are my boys, Kevin McKinney on the far left, James Trawick there on the drums, and myself there in the lifeguard. You know, always trying to do good, save
Always
lives.
Seeking Wendy Peppercorns of
Yeah,
the world.
that's right. And then Lee Murray there on the bass. And so, yeah, we actually kind of all reconnected this last week, and so I went through some old pictures, and I started to laugh at that one. That was pretty
So
Were you
fantastic.
the lead singer?
I was, yeah.
Wow. Do you
Yeah.
want to sing us something right now?
No, I don't. But there is a Party Hounds Facebook page, so you guys can do a little research on it.
Yeah, we're going to need to go visit that
Make
right
sure you
away.
like it and
Record
follow.
yourself and are they
Yeah,
posted?
it's live performances.
Wow.
And we wrote a song, the classic "I'd Break My Nose for You." It was called. Recorded that in the studio. It was we were kind of a big deal back then in the day. There in
Are
Plano,
there
Texas.
multiple party hounds? This isn't you?
That's not us.
Okay, there's
Yeah.
multiple party hounds.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into copyright on those guys.
The caption on the picture said, "Throwback to some of the funnest days of my life, jamming in the garage with the Party Hounds. Bon Jovi had nothing on us. # rock and roll lifestyle."
We actually played in front of 20,000 people one time. We won a citywide battle of the bands, and we played in our 5A football stadium in Texas, and for the 4th of July, and we sang "Pretty Woman" by Van Halen, dedicated to the Statue of Liberty. It was really neat. It was great.
Wow.
I see that picture and I just want to watch a bunch of 80s movies. John
There's
Cusack.
Yeah.
There's
exactly.
a rumor out there that the band's going to reconnect and play together this summer in Texas. So there'll be more information on that. But yeah,
Wow.
Party hounds.
I'll be there with the boombox over my head.
Absolutely.
John Cusack.
that's right. That'll be perfect. Ray Bans.
I'll wear a wig and everything.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's great.
You know, Dave Rose might be there. He loves it.
Oh yeah,
He is a
yeah.
concert guy.
Coach has already said he wants backstage passes. So
That's really funny. Now, if you were controlling music in the locker room, what's your go-to in that moment?
I'm all over the dial. Be honest with you, I would say my staple is 80s hair metal. That's that's what I love.
Big hair bands.
Yeah.
It's not working with these guys on the team right
No,
now.
no.
Much
That wouldn't get
nowadays.
you wouldn't get much out of them if you threw a little rat on there. They kind of look at you crazy.
We've been talking about Eric Mika and his. We think he's the best player in the league right now. What's impressed you the most about his play so far this year?
I think just his consistency, and he's just been ultra consistent. And I think that, as a freshman, you kind of saw him with some swings, and I think that his ability to just basically take over games, get fouled, get to the line, make free throws. His activity on the glass was always a strength. But I think one thing that really helped him is the mission really helped his maturity. And just being on the court and being able to handle adversity and deal with it, he's just come light years that way. So he's so awesome. He's such a great personality. He's so great with the team. But I'm so happy that he's having such a great year.
Yeah, he still has an outlet for some of those immature moments
Sure.
via Snapchat
Yeah.
and Instagram.
Right, yeah. That's the beauty of social media, right? I mean, knuckleheads posting pictures of their band back,
Everyone does it.
everyone does it.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim LaComb with us, BYU associate head coach. There is some concern about the health of this BYU team, specifically Nick Emery, because there was a weird moment in the Pacific game where he tweaked his left knee and he had to come out, and he was rolling at that point. He had 8 quick points. What's the status of Nick Emery right now?
Nick's going to be fine. Everything, is checked out pretty good. And obviously he got a knee to the quad and then kind of landed funny, but he's going to be fine. He's, it was a scary moment for everybody. And, it's not anything that will, really hold him back that much. He's going to have to play through some pain and stuff, but like damage-wise or structural, anything that's all good.
Oh, that's great. No tears, no sprain, just
Yeah.
contusion.
He's basically uncomfortable, and and it's, he's a tough kid. So, we text with him this morning, and he's like, I'm good. So.
Oh, that's great news.
Yeah.
Before we talk about Santa Clara, the defense against Pacific, our stat of the day yesterday was just the second time in the 6 years in the league you guys had held a road WCC opponent under 50. What was the preparation like going into that game that led to that?
Well, I think that our guys, I think we kind of maybe turned a corner a little bit as far as just our total preparation to play a road game. And we've been pretty good at home. But when you get out on the road, with a young team particularly, there's always distractions. There's ways to go about it. I think our guys played with a real confident mindset, and I think they were really aggressive, both on the offensive and the defensive end. And that made a huge difference. And, to a man, I think all the guys came out of it feeling really, really good. A part of as always, the tempo of the game, dictates kind of more of the scoring patterns, and Pacific was kind of set on playing a little bit slower. And so, just because the team scores, you got to take into account pace of play and possessions and things like that. But felt like our guys were really locked in, understood, what we wanted to do game plan wise. The one thing we probably didn't do as well as we needed to was rebound. They got a lot of offensive rebounds, and that could really kind of stung us. So it's something we got to get better at. But I thought overall, the number of times that we got, a hand on a ball, from Eli cutting through the paint and getting a hand on the post, or, TJ attacking the guy at midcourt when he was looking back at the coach. I just think our aggression level was really, really good. And I think sometimes, as we watch film, we were always kind of sound, but we weren't the aggressor. And I think that's something that was noticeably different in the game.
The last time you played against Santa Clara, and you go back to the Levy Center on Thursday, Nick Emery shut down Jared Brownridge, so much so that Coach Rose said this is one of the best games that Nick has played at BYU. And it wasn't because he was great offensively, and we've seen him go off a number of times that way, but he held Brownridge to 8 points, one of the top scorers in the West. So what do you anticipate from Jared Brownridge and Nick Emery in that matchup this week?
Well, I think, Nick did an awesome job, and he played terrific defense. But I think the scheme and the way that we kind of guarded him as a team, everybody was very cognizant of where he was on the floor. We had a real awareness of where he was and how he was getting, he's a guy that sprints off screens. And so you depend on the guy guarding him, but you also depend on the help, the show guy. And then if you show, the weak side's got to slide over and protect the hoop. So as a team, I thought we really guarded him well, and that's what it's going to take. He's an unbelievable, scorer. He can score it, and he has nights that he just, against anybody he can go do, 30. And so we're again preparing to, guard him, be aggressive with him, and make sure it's a team effort all the way around guarding him.
You beat Santa Clara by 30 at home. That's not a reasonable expectation on the road. But what? And given the way you guys have played on the road, Saturday probably was a confidence boost for yet another road game against Santa Clara.
Yeah, for sure. I will say that, Santa Clara, new coach, we're getting acclimated. That was the first league game. They've gone on now to win 5 of 7 league games, and they're playing really well. They lost at the buzzer to LMU, and then, they played Gonzaga at their place, and Gonzaga, played like they do pretty well, and it
right.
wasn't much of a game. But other than that, they've had a great run in the last 7 games since we've played them. And so, yeah, it's different, but, we want to take the things that worked, and then we also have shown things during that game where maybe we got lucky on a few things where maybe we didn't guard it exactly right, but they missed shots. So we just got to do a really good job of seeing the things we did well, seeing the things we got to improve on, and going out there with a real confident mindset.
When you prepare for a team at their place, and you know that you've had success there. In fact, BYU hasn't lost to Santa Clara since you joined the West Coast Conference. How do you keep that from bleeding into the minds of your guys that, hey, we generally play really well against this team?
Well, I think that's a challenge, and I think, it can work the other way too. for whatever reason, we've kind of always struggled at San Diego. So you really want to try to take it and take all the history out, all the stats, because the bottom line is you're playing this game, and none of the other games have any factor on what this game's going to be. So just prepare them the best we can. Obviously, for whatever reason, we've shot the ball really well there most nights, and we usually get a pretty good contingent of BYU fans there, so there's a good energy in the gym. And so we just got to, continue to build on kind of the positive mojo we had last week. And I do believe we kind of found some things and flipped a switch in our guys, and we're excited to get back out on the road and try to get another one.
Are you discussing at all what it would take to get to the NCAA tournament, maybe as a coaching staff, in the bigger picture, or is it only Santa Clara this week? Because I know the aims of the program are get to the tournament.
Right. Yeah. And that's such a difficult thing, because I'm obviously, as a competitor, that's something you always want to do. But what this team needs right now, and it's so boring and cliche, but we have to do a good job. It's not even right now. It's preparing for Santa Clara, but it's as simple as let's have a really good practice today. We had a great practice yesterday, and the guys are coming off some success last week. So let's manage Tuesday the best we can. Obviously, we're in major preparation mode for Santa Clara right now, but I think if you allow your mind to get too distracted and you're looking too far beyond the mark, that's when, crazy things can happen. So honestly, the best way that we can get that end result is to win the game we're playing, and that's all we can control right now. And so that's really where our mindset is control the controllable. We've got an opportunity to go win a game, and that's what we're preparing to do.
With that in mind, how difficult has it been to travel on the off day to either get home or to, in this case, you're gonna travel Friday,
Travel
as
to a home game.
team.
Right.
You
And we've
travel
done
as a home
that.
team.
We've done that once this year, so we'll do it again. At least we've done it. I like the idea. For me, it's way better to go play the road game first and then be able to come home and kind of manage that. But what it's done is it's just really kind of made us look at the way we prepare and how important that Friday practice is and what we do on that Friday. I mean, I think sometimes you can be too concerned about, well, we played last night, we got to save our legs, but then you might get in the wrong pace for Saturday. So it's been a little bit of a trick, and I think it's been, we've tweaked it to the point where I think we're comfortable now with the way we do it. But it's something new this year that we haven't had to deal with, that we're managing. And the guys, the bottom line is we have an unbelievable group of guys that literally we've maybe had 2 or 3 practices this year that maybe have been not very good energy-wise. Our guys bring energy, so it's just a matter for us to put them in the best position to succeed.
You use the words good energy in the Levy Center specifically, but when you have to travel on the road, and let's say that there isn't a ton of energy in the building, a la San Diego, what kind of a challenge does that present to a young team?
It's tough. I mean, the whole idea of these guys want to go out there and perform, and when we don't, you look for reasons, and reasons end up just being excuses. And so as coaches, what we want to try to do is take all those factors out and just say, bottom line is we got to go play. And it is a little bit difficult sometimes to go into a gym that's flat and to create your own energy. But I think that one thing that's really helped this year is we actually practice in the annex before we go play in a WCC gym, because it's more confined. The walls are closer, and then when we prepare for home games, we practice in the Marriott Center. So that's been kind of a nice thing that we've been able to do that I think's helped.
Did you know Johnny Manzella was at the San Diego game?
I heard that. Yeah. Andre Miller was there. Andre was there. He's a good friend of mine, and I spent some time with Andre before the game talking to him. But I just saw a picture that Johnny was there, and the joke is Terry Nasheff's a huge Seahawks guy, and he thinks that the Seahawks should spend all their money on an offensive line and then go get Manzella to play quarterback. So
Terry's a smart dude. That's a dumb idea.
I don't know, man. He's pretty brilliant. It might just work.
Oh, no. Terry. I'm a Seahawks fan, too.
Yeah, you can talk to him about that one.
No, Terry.
Yeah, we need to have that conversation later with
That's
Terry.
a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Tim, always a pleasure to talk to you, man.
Hey, thank you
thanks
guys.
for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
We appreciate the throwback picture
Yep.
and, of course, the insight into BYU hoops.
No problem.